One by one, the people on the other side of the arena began to clap. It was a slow, rhythmic clapping that sent a chill up my spine as it filled the air. They gradually clapped faster and faster until Victor stood and held up a hand for silence.
Yes, yes,
Victor said loudly.
time for the main event. Since many of you are joining us for the first time this evening, I think we should take a moment to refresh everyone on the rules and why we do this.
How much do you want to bet the first rule is, we don't talk about it? Asked Delta.
I bet it's the second rule, too.
Joe agreed dryly. I chuckled, but my amusement quickly died as a group of witches and wizards appeared at the far end of the arena, dragging along a rack lined with every kind of weapon imaginable. Oh fuck. Well, I was joking, said Delta.
What is this?
Kayana was leaning forward, looking fascinated. I swallowed nervously, studying the rack. It was covered with knives and swords, spears and stakes, and even crossbows. A couple of wizards with an identical rack appeared on the other end of the arena, dragging it into place opposite the first one.
During your time here,
Victor said, raising his voice even louder over the sound of the rack squeaking and clanging into place.
You will participate in a number of fights.
A chill went up my spine.
While you will also spend a great deal of your time enjoying yourselves with our many amenities, do not forget that first and foremost, our goal is to bring our vision to the world. As we attempt to do that, we will be opposed, with force. If we want any chance of victory, we will need an army. That is what we're building here. These fights will keep your skills, both magical and physical, well honed. They also serve to determine which of you are the strongest, the best, and eventually will help place you in leadership positions within our ranks.
Was this some sort of sick joke? Hazing the new guys, maybe?
You are witnessing the fight this evening so that you know exactly what you are getting into,
continued Victor.
If you do not have any desire to participate in these combat trials, then I highly suggest you leave. If, however, you see the value of what we are trying to do here, and you truly believe in our vision, then you are invited to stay. When the fights conclude this evening, you will be escorted to your rooms, where you will spend the night. I ask that you think very hard about whether or not you wish to remain here. If you so choose, then tomorrow we will welcome you to breakfast among your new family. Should you decide to leave,
he chuckled,
you'll still be taken care of. The bus will be waiting for you to return you home.
He paused and looked around for a moment. I swallowed nervously. This wasn't at all what I had signed up for. My hope that this was just some kind of prank was quickly fading.
As for the rules,
said Victor, waving down a round of impatient clapping,
you're expected to fight well and to do your best. If we believe you are attempting to hold back or show mercy, there will be consequences. If you attempt to yield or end the fight while we believe you are still physically able to fight, there will be consequences.
He paused for a moment, letting it sink in.
Lastly, if you refuse to fight.
He smiled, and I could see his fangs, even from this distance.
Let's just say you do not have that option.
Everyone, even Delta, sat in stunned silence. On the other side of the arena, I could hear a few chuckles at our expense. I still held out hope that it was a nasty prank.
One more thing,
added Victor, sounding almost bored.
While we do expect you to do your best, we also prefer that you do not actually kill your opponent. We are trying to build an army here, which is rather difficult if some of you keep dying. Nevertheless,
he spread his hands with a grin that sent a chill up my spine.
Accidents happen, and a certain, bloodlust is what separates us from the humans, is it not?
He chuckled darkly.
That said, if killing your opponent becomes a habit, we will have to have some firm words.
He let out an eerie, slightly crazed-sounding laugh. Then he stepped back and raised his hands.